where the police secure the roof. You see the body lying on its side. This is presumably when we get the close-up shot of the face. Then we have this photo with the same cops. This is where I start asking more questions. Why is this policeman pulling on the body's arm? Is it normal police procedure to reposition the dead body? Then we have this photo. At some point, the police have rolled the body over onto its stomach and handcuffed his hands behind his back with zip ties. What? Why do the cops keep repositioning the body? And why would they put handcuffs on him? Were they worried this dead person was going to try and attack them? This really makes no sense. Let's go back to the lone gunman theory. It says that Thomas Crooks was positioned at the top of the roof where he had a clean shot of Donald Trump, like this picture here. But if we look at the photo, he is a full body length away from the top of the roof. If he was shot by the sniper, his body would have fallen at the top of the roof. We know he didn't crawl away because there's no blood at the top of the roof. Also, we know that the body was initially on its side. This also would not have happened if he was shot by the sniper. Why would the body fall on its side? Unless maybe he was not the shooter at all. Maybe he was shot by someone else to his side. That would explain why the body fell on its side away from the top of the roof. And then we have the location of the gun on the roof. It is so far away from the body. How does that make any sense? Some people have suggested that it is normal for cops to kick a gun away from a shooter's body for safety. But all the way over there? I don't believe it. How did the gun get so far away? Again, if the sniper shot Thomas Crooks at the top of the roof, he would have fallen right there on top of the gun. I do not see any way how this picture of the lone gunman theory matches at all with this crime scene. The official story makes no sense. Given this information, I'm not convinced that the sniper's bullet killed this person on the roof. I think it's more likely that he was killed by a second gunman. Bullet trajectory. This brings me to my next problem. I have gone over and over different maps and photos from the location trying to map out different bullet trajectories. They do not match with the lone gunman theory. We know that Donald Trump was hit by a bullet in his right ear. We have this famous photo showing the actual bullet as it was whizzing past his head. This photo actually tells us a lot. There was an article written by someone who founded a company to photograph bullets in flight. He analyzed this photo with some shocking findings. According to the length of the streak, the bullet is moving twice as fast as it should be. This suggests that the bullet that hit Donald Trump came from a different location with a different type of gun. This finding matches what I discussed in my last video, that if you analyze the audio of the gunshots from the videos, it sounds like there's at least 3 different guns firing and potentially even 4.
We just have an absolutely different sound between the first 3. There's no echo, it's much further away, it's more muffled, it's just not in the same place at all. But these next ones, very different sound, totally different weapons. Okay, full stop, we have 2 separate weapons, plus we have no echoes coming off of the first 3, and then we do have echoes coming off of the next set.
So there are 3 shots to start, and then 5 more. And they sound like they are clearly coming from different weapons and different locations. Let me repeat, you can hear this difference in all the different videos of the shooting. Audio does not lie. I don't see any way that these gunshots sound like they are coming from a lone gunman. This photo also shows us that the bullet was traveling roughly parallel to how Trump was standing. We have this diagram showing how Donald Trump famously turned his head and the bullet hits his ear. But there is a problem with this. Thomas Crooks' body was positioned to the left of Donald Trump. How could Thomas Crooks have shot and hit the right side of Trump's face? I want you to try an experiment. Anyone can do this. Hold up a mirror or use the camera in your phone to look at yourself. Now start turning your head to the right. Look at how quickly your right ear disappears from view. You don't have to turn your head that much. So if someone is standing to the left of you at all, they cannot hit your right ear, let alone shoot it. That would mean that Thomas Crooks shot the bullet stopped, went around Donald Trump's head, and then hit his ear. Let's go over the map again. Donald Trump was here. Thomas Crooks' body was here. Now remember, Donald Trump was turning to look at a video screen that was behind his right shoulder. He would have had to fully turn to his right to see the screen. That matches the photos that we see. So if we draw a line on the map the direction that Trump was facing, Thomas Crooks was certainly to the left of that line. Now, he was not that far to the left, but he was far enough that I do not believe that the shot is even physically possible. It seems to me more likely that the shot that hit Trump was fired from someone parallel to him or slightly to his right. You could not be on his left and hit his right ear. I think this shows that the bullet that hit Trump did not come from Thomas Crooks, but instead from a second gunman. Now we cannot tell from this photo if the bullet was moving from right to left or left to right. But there are some other potential locations that I don't understand why no one is investigating. I have mentioned before that the water tower could have been a potential shot. But also in the other direction, there is this barn over here. A sniper could have been inside or on the roof. There could have been someone on the roof of this house. There's also this small shed. How easy could it have been to just hide behind this shed, hop up on the roof, and take the shot? But I think an even easier option. Look at all these roads out here. Someone could have just been in the back of a truck. They take the shot and then drive off down one of the roads. All of this is to say, when you start mapping out the trajectory of the bullets, the lone gunman theory does not make sense.